All right, motherfuckers. That right there was Vision from Graybeard. And guess who I have on the line with me right now?
It would be the Greybeard.
The Graybeard. Dude, what's going on, man? What's going on in the world of Graybeard?
Not a whole lot. It's just me right now. I'm Ross. I'm the guy with the gray beard in the band. I'm the singer, songwriter, guitar player for the band. I pinged my bandmates to see where everyone is, but we're all pretty tired today. We had a late show last night, and I know our drummer and our bass player both had to work quite early in the morning, so they're probably lying down and relaxing right now. But yeah, we had a show last night. It was a good time. It was fun to play again, for sure.
All good, man. All good. At least we got you, man. The one with the gray beard.
The grayest of grays here.
So, why did you guys name the band Graybeard? Was it after? Did you name it after your beard?
Kinda.
Really?
We kinda did. Like, honestly, it's. Do you want the whole story? I'll give you the whole story.
Yeah, man. Tell us.
Okay. Yeah, for sure. So about 5 years ago, I like had these kind of metal songs sitting, because I come from like a bunch of sort of hardcore and punk bands originally. I'd never actually done a metal band before, but I love metal for, as long as I've loved music. And so I'd never done a metal band. I had these kind of metal songs sitting there, and I approached our drummer Casey about just recording them and just doing it as basically a project, right? Just like, hey, I want to try recording these songs. And yeah, we just did it. And I just called it Graybeard because at that point my beard was going quite gray, and I'm like, I like Gandalf. I'm into D&D. I like Lord of the Rings, so I'll lean into that. But it was. Amanda just pinged me. She's trying to join, so we might have our bass player joining us here in a minute. But it was. That's the story. The longer story of the name of the band. There she is.
Oh,
Amanda.
am I?
You're here. Welcome.
Am I really?
You're really here. We're here with Zach and I.
Welcome, Amanda.
Cool. Hi, thank you so much. Is this audio only? I'm sorry. I'm just
It's just audio.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, how's everybody?
We're doing great.
Fantastic. Thanks so much for having us.
You're welcome.
Yeah,
You're
for
welcome.
sure.
You are live right now on the show, and we were just talking about the Graybeard.
Right on.
Yeah, I was giving the backstory on the name, Amanda. So yeah, basically Casey and I, that was the backstory on the name, and then Casey and I recorded sort of 3 EPs together, and every EP we incorporated another member of the band. Essentially, it just kind of morphed it. Like it really did. It morphed into like a full band from like just Casey and I. Because I think Amanda, you did you did like vocals on Serpent King. You did a bunch of backup vocals, and then Guy started playing guitar on the second session we did, which was Built to Destroy. So by the time we got to the Oracle, the full-length album, the band was there, and it was a real thing. So yeah.
And on my end here, so Casey and I have been together for a number of years, and just having you guys over to record at our place, our little apartment. Thank you, neighbors. I more or less said, this should be a band. Like, this should be a band, and I'll play bass. Like, you need to get this out there, because I really love the music, and I still do.
Well, it sounds great. Everything I've heard so far. You know what? Does one of you have speakers playing in the background? Because I keep hearing an echo.
Yeah, I do not. I'm in headphones, so.
No, all is quiet over here. Maybe I will just adjust my headphones. Perhaps that might be better. Okay.
Yeah, I think it stopped now.
Okay, good.
It's still there.
Oh, dear.
There's the echo.
Well, I don't know about an echo. I joined on the Facebook. Like, maybe I should get off that. Yeah.
I think it. Yeah. There. No, it's still there.
Still echoing.
Weird. Well, anyway, I got to ask you, like, one of the things that I noticed that I really like too is the album art.
Yeah. Okay. So that, like, the album's a concept album. It's basically a D&D module that I made up in my head, and it's the story of this oracle who sells out his village and flees because this dark powers come to kill him, and this other girl in the village also has the same power as him, so she chases him, and big saga of chasing him into the mountains and into this cave, and he ends up killing himself, and then she kind of inherits this power and becomes what I call the heiress of the night, like this sort of supernatural being. But the art was basically, actually was a friend of Amanda and Casey's, a woman named Therese. What's her last name, Amanda? Therese?
Lance. L-A-N-Z, yeah.
L-A-N-Z, yeah.
An amazing artist.
She is an amazing artist. Yeah, we approached her about doing some artwork, and she gave us a really good deal on some fucking spectacular art. Like, it was amazing. Like, it was basically, I kind of gave her an idea of, the concept for the album, and said, this is what I'm thinking. And yeah, she just took it away and blew all of our minds with how good it turned out. It turned out really well. So
totally could not have thought of a better person for that. And she's also a phenomenal musician in her own right. Mares of Thray, she also did an entire album with Exit Strategy, and many other bands too.
Yeah,
very, very cool. As far as the concept of the record, can you tell us a little bit about, like, some of the songs, what they're about?
Yeah, sure. So the story starts out like that. The song we were playing off the top there, Vision, is basically the way I wrote it was that the oracle sees what's coming. Like, he can see this dark force is coming towards him, and it's basically calling in a debt that he hasn't repaid. And the songs never get into the details around the debt; they just allude to it. So basically, he has this vision, and then he's like, "I'm out of here. I'm leaving my village, and they're going to get razzed. Like, the village is going to get flattened." And it does, because that works into song number 2, Unspeakable, which is basically the arrival of these, it's very Tolkien-esque, with like riders on dark horses coming in and just leveling this village. But the young girl, who also has the same power as the oracle, survives, and she rounds up a few survivors, and they start chasing him, because she can see where he's going. So that leads into Craven, which is sort of the first part of the chase. What comes after that? After that is Truth. Yeah, because the truth is sort of her reckoning with, like, explaining to her people what's happened. Like, she has this vision. She knows, like, they have to believe her that she knows where he's going. The chorus is the child knows the truth. She has seen the place. She can lead them there. Those are the lyrics. So it's pretty obvious, but so that's like side 1 of the album, and then side 2 is interesting because it's a bit more dynamic. There's actually a bit more acoustic and sort of clean guitars on side 2. So the first song on side 2, Solitude, it's instrumental, and it's basically the idea of the oracle has fled into this cavern in the mountains, into the caves, and he's hiding there, just basically kind of sheltering in place, essentially. So it's him. The idea is that it's setting up this idea of, like, loneliness, being by yourself, contemplation. And that song, actually, interestingly enough, I recorded it, like, I did the guitar parts on that. That's just me playing guitar. And we never rehearsed that song, like, because we didn't ever plan on playing it live. But when we did our album release show back in September, we played it live for the first time. And it was actually, I don't know how you feel about it, Amanda, but I had a fucking blast playing it, because
I love it.
Yeah,
I love it.
It's because we added drums to it, and Guy put in more of his parts. So it's actually, in hindsight, I kind of wish we would have recorded it that way, but it's done. It's like, okay, this is just extra bonus for people who know the song. They'll be like, oh, wow, they added more to it. So it's pretty cool. But yeah, after that, it goes into Vengeance, which is basically the sort of climax of the girl and her group of the villagers catching the Oracle. He ends up throwing himself into a pit or like down this chasm, and it's, you know, the end of him, but it's the beginning of the girl sort of becoming this new, like this dark force now, and because she has the same power as him and he's now dead, she becomes sort of quote unquote the chosen one. So it leads in sort of into this epilogue called Heiress of the Night, which is just basically talking about the deal with her and how she has all these awesome powers and, you know, all that kind of stuff. But,
yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
So speaking of live shows, can you tell us what can people expect that have never seen you guys live?
Oh, fuck. If it's anything like last night, they can expect a gong show.
It was not a gong show.
Oh, I know, man. It was funny though, because we had some. It was a bit of a rough start out of the blocks, but I mean, overall, I think our live shows are pretty energetic. I mean, honestly, I think what you're hearing now in this interview is what you're going to hear on stage. Like, we're pretty down to earth people. Like, we like to banter with the crowd. We like to get, you know, have some fun up there and have some laughs and still
just
rock
be real.
hard. Yeah, be real with people. But yeah, I mean, we're fucking loud and we're pretty tight. And, you know, Amanda and Casey can nail all the clean vocals, and I'm a pretty good at yelling live. So I don't know. I think we're pretty good.
Yeah.
We have a lot of fun, if nothing else.
Mm-hmm.
Hell yeah. So tell us about this festival coming up.
Yeah, okay. It's the CEMR, Canada's Extreme Metal Radio Festival. I think it's the third one. Yeah, it's
cool.
It's just a compilation, or it's just a group of, like, from looking at the lineup, it's all sort of Western Canadian bands coming together, just playing at a venue in Edmonton, which is about 3 hours north of where we are. We're from Calgary, Alberta. Yeah, and it's a weekend in March. It's over Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So, sorry, excuse me. It's a decent bill, and yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. We're playing on the Sunday night. Yeah, it's going to be a blast.
Yeah, totally.
Hell yeah. So how did you guys find out about that?
I just happened to cross it, like, I think it was in the summer. I was on their website or Facebook page or something, and it was like they were accepting band submissions. So I just threw one in, and, you know, a few months later they said, "Do you want to play?" And we were like, "Sure, sounds good."
Right on.
Yeah, and we were playing Loud as Hell this summer, which is just such an amazing festival. Over the August long weekend, I believe.
Yeah.
And, you know, met some connections there, and, you know, they said they'd really love to have us. So, you know, that kind of led to CEMR, which I'm super excited about.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. I got some questions for you guys coming in from the listeners in the chat room. Leviathan wants to know, do you guys have anything on vinyl?
Yeah, man. Oracle's on vinyl. That's the only physical release we've ever done. All of our previous sessions were digital only, but Oracle is available on vinyl. If you go to our Bandcamp page, you can order it right from there.
Yeah.
Bandcamp address, yeah. Go ahead.
That's right. And maybe wait till the first Friday in January, because that's Bandcamp Friday, right?
Right.
And it's beautiful. It is honestly beautiful. Like the artwork that we're talking about, yeah, you're going to have that.
Yeah, and it's also pressed on orange lava vinyl, so it's a mixture of orange and black. It looks really cool, and it's limited pressing, so it's pretty sweet. It's a pretty cool piece of art. Yeah, the Bandcamp address is graybeard-yyc.bandcamp.com. You can get it there.
Very
nice.
cool. Yeah, yeah, I mean, the music itself is already badass enough, but like that album cover
Oh,
takes it to a whole nother level. So I mean, yeah, and like you said, Bandcamp Friday, that's coming up, and shit, I mean, that is so much fun. What do you guys think about Bandcamp doing that? Isn't that cool?
Oh, it's super cool, man.
so
Bandcamp's
great.
awesome. They're so awesome. They're doing things the right way, man. Like it's so good how they support artists like that. That's wicked.
Hell yeah, man! I
Yep.
spend so much money every single first Friday. It's just
Right on.
you got to, I mean, like,
Yeah, yeah.
it's just and it's infectious. Like, you see so many other people doing it, and everybody's like talking about it, and they share it, and it's really turned into a cool thing. Like, I mean, for the
Yeah.
artists.
Yeah, for sure.
Yep. Great way to, share and, get to know new music, right?
Hell yeah.
Absolutely. And I know from our experience as being, a very small indie metal band, I think we've gotten one check from Spotify. like honestly, like those big streaming services, like the chances of making any reasonable amount of money on those things for small bands or indie bands is next to nothing. So yeah, it's great that Bandcamp is like on those Bandcamp Fridays, like allowing all the proceeds to go to the artist is super awesome.
And the community on Bandcamp as well. Like, like when you have an account on there, you have people that follow your account. Like almost every time I buy something on there, the next day I'll get an email from Bandcamp and they'll tell me that somebody else bought something because they saw it because I bought it. And I'm like, yeah,
Sweet.
dude, that's fucking awesome, man. That's what I'm talking about.
I think the term for you, Zach, is you are an influencer. that is the correct term for you. You are an influencer, my friend.
Oh God. All right. All right. So I got some more questions for you guys. Secret Weapon wants to know, have there been any hairy ass dudes that take off their boxer shorts and toss them on the stage?
Oh, no.
God, I wish. That sounds awesome. That sounds like a spectacle, man.
Honestly, Ross, yeah, I wish too. Like that would be a time to talk about. So please, fans, brazen enough, throw some things for us.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm not sure how it ends, but it certainly would be a story, if nothing else.
And specifically those with hairy asses too, of course.
Yeah, I don't know,
Okay,
man.
well,
what the fuck?
I'm going to stop
Whatever.
there with that. I'm going to stop on that.
All right.
I've seen worse. Anyway.
Next question. Lady Red wants to know, how many instruments can you guys all play?
Ooh.
Play well or play?
Play.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll start with this one.
Yeah.
I was classically trained in piano for a great many years in my growing up. And then I was like, okay, becoming a teenager, and I was like, I want to diversify. Like, I want to learn the guitar. My dad was a really good musician, still is a really good musician too, and I was blessed with the fact that we had a great number of guitars in the house. So I was like, Dad, teach me guitar. So anyway, started to teach me guitar, and that didn't go so well. So I just took it upon myself to learn myself the bass, like just to learn the rudiments and everything, and I just fell in love with it. So bass was my next baby, and then I got back into guitar, and I actually do play flute as well as sing.
Nice. Yeah, and I actually started out on bass guitar. It was funny, like I also grew up with a musical family. My dad played in country and western bands and
Oh, cool.
did gigs and things like that. So we had guitars around the house, and I know when I was in junior high, me and my buddy wanted to start a band, and he was going to play guitar, and I was like, well, I guess I'll be the bass player then, because you need one of those. So I just started playing bass, and I started learning guitar kind of at the same time, and I played bass for quite a number of years in several different bands, and then I actually moved from British Columbia to Alberta, to Calgary. And when I moved here, I had a chance to join a band, but they needed a drummer, and I could kind of play drums. So I was like, sure, I can play drums for you. And it was a super fun sort of crusty punk band, and we had a great time. But the drums were pretty straightforward, so I could fake my way through that. But
awesome.
Yeah, so I can play drums if you need a steady 4/4 beat. I can play guitar, and I can play bass. So yeah, that's about it for me.
Yeah, nice.
Hell yeah. All right, as far as your influences, take us back to the beginning. Like, what were some of the first records that you listened to, and what got you into music?
Got me into music or got me into metal? Both. I'll answer both.
Both.
Mind if I go first, Amanda?
Go for it.
All right, so I'll never forget, and I tell this story often, not often, but I'll tell it if people ask. I'm like, I remember listening to Iron Maiden Power Slave when I was in grade 7, and it had just come out. That tells you how old I am. And I was just like, what the fuck, this is awesome. I started loving metal right then and there, and it was interesting. I discovered Metallica a couple years after that, and that was like mind-blowing. And then I remember when I heard Slayer for the first time, and I was just like, oh my God, like just mind-melting moment, right? But yeah, like those are probably the big 3 metal influences on me. But the first live band I ever saw was SNFU, which also led me into hardcore punk rock, because I was like, I'd never seen live music before, and I was just like, holy shit. Like, and they were such a great live band. Like, yeah, I was just blown away. So that started down this sort of parallel path of loving metal and, punk as well, and hardcore music. So, and the 80s and 90s were great for that, because there was so much crossover at that point. Like, thrash metal was like kind of crossing into both genres. So it was a great time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And for me, honestly, I think the first case of like, whoa, heavy music was like Helter Skelter with the Beatles. And I was like, whoa, what is this? Dad, can we turn it up? Right? Like, it was on vinyl. And just moved on from there. And honestly, I'm a grunge girl. Pearl Jam 10 was kind of my reckoning, like the awakening, you could say. And it all evolved from there.
That's a really bass-heavy album, too.
What's that?
That's a really bass-heavy album, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, like when I think of that album,
big deal.
I remember the bass.
Yes. And really, like, that is truly, alongside with Blood Sugar Sex Magic from the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Let's not ever forget. Yeah. So that's actually how I started learning bass. Like, I didn't even have an amp at the time. I would just leave the bass in the case, open, and I would play it because I could hear the sound more. So talk about somewhere to start learning from, like Flea, holy shit. Anyway, but I'm nowhere near that. But anyway, it just kind of evolved from there, and loving Gojira, loving Meshuggah, loving anything heavy. Like, just, I love music of all types, and I think that's what I bring to this band is just, I don't know, I'm diverse.
That's really cool. Well, I can definitely identify with both of you, because like I remember being a little kid and hearing Iron Maiden for the first time, and then similar to your timeline, Metallica and Slayer. But then I do remember also in the 90s, like the grunge era that came in with Alice in Chains and Nirvana. And
Oh
all that
yeah,
stuff.
big time. That's another big one for me.
Loved all that stuff
Yeah.
too. And then, but it's just always been a quest of following just. I don't know, man. There's so much good music, and even today, right now, there's so much good stuff coming out.
The internet has changed everything. Like the amount of good bands out there, like really, really good bands, is insane. It's like wow, there's so many good bands. Like it's amazing. It's so cool.
And I also really want to mention a huge influence on just personally, like the local Calgary and Edmonton, like Alberta scene, like Canada scene. Like, holy cow, like there are so many amazing musicians that, you know, we're friends with who, yeah, they absolutely influence us and they motivate us and they like encourage us to do more and do better. Like, yeah, can't say enough about our scene.
Hell yeah. All right, I got some more very important questions coming in from the listeners in the chat room. Carl wants to know, has anybody ever ended up in jail while on tour?
We've never toured. We just started playing shows about 3 years ago because the first couple years of Graybeard was just recording project. We weren't even really a band at that point. So yeah, we have yet to do our first tour, so no jail stops for us yet. But we can work on it. We can try. We'll try hard next time.
Oh no.
Maybe it'll involve the guy with the hairy ass and the boxer shorts. Maybe that's the ending to the story, right? Like that's how the story ends.
All right. Next question. Vicky wants to know, what do you prefer, bloodbaths or showers?
Well, can it be both?
Blood shower. Yeah,
Oh, Vicky,
I
you
guess
know
so.
sometimes it's both. Come on.
I'm leaving that one alone. That's between you and Amanda.
Yep.
That's you
Yep.
guys. That's all you.
Another question. Who has the ugliest tattoo in the band?
I'm the only guy with tattoos, so it's definitely me.
That's actually true. Yeah.
It's true, they're ugly, and it's true, I'm the only guy with tattoos.
Yeah. No, they're not ugly. I love your tattoos. Ross, you have some amazing tattoos. I just know that, like, as a naked tattoo person, I know as soon as you break the seal, it's over. And then
You'll be covered.
I'll be covered and all of my money forever is gone.
Yeah, that's
Oh, yeah.
It's not cheap.
I would like some, though.
All right. So if you guys could play at any show, if you could open up for any band in the world, what would you what would you imagine? Like, what would it be? Like a festival or something?
Opeth.
Opeth, yeah.
Gojira.
Yeah, good. Can we open for Opeth and Gojira? That'd be pretty good.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Like there's so many good bands out there that I would be totally humbled and honored to open for. Like the list is long.
So many amazing bands.
Yeah.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. All right. So what's coming up next for you guys?
Well, there is this festival. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, actually, before that, though, I think we're going to be recording some new material, aren't we, Ross?
Yeah. We've got the record company who pressed Oracle for us, Wasted Wax, wastedwaxrecords.com.
Out of where?
Medicine Hat, Alberta.
Medicine Hat, Mexican Hat, Alberta. Don't forget about it. A lot of good things come out of there.
They're doing like I think a 10-year compilation, and we want to record a new song for that because they asked if the owner of the company asked me if we wanted to use one of our previous songs or record something new, and I was like, ooh, let's do something new. So we actually wrote a new song just a little while ago. Like we've only played it live like a few times. It's called Heartless, and it's pretty kick-ass.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, and then we've got basically an album sitting, waiting, that we're gonna be starting on hopefully in the next little while here, but maybe early in the new year. We're gonna start finishing off demos and then start rehearsing stuff, because I would love to record something new in 2022.
Absolutely.
That would be my goal. We'll see if it happens, but yeah.
Oh, it's going to happen, Rob.
It's going to happen.
It's happening.
The timeline. It's just the timeline. It will happen. It depends on the year. Might be next year. Might be 2022 by the time it's going to. Yeah, we'll see. But yeah, we've got like I've got, I think it's 9. Yeah, it's 9 songs that are like in my brain they're done, because I've got the music written and it's arranged. And then Amanda's writing like an epilogue for it. Keyboards, and might have a bit of guitar in it, but it's, yeah, this next album is actually, it's another concept album, except this time instead of being a D&D module, it's more dystopian near future. It's sort of, it's like end of the world times, like Armageddon type stuff. And this sole survivor guy he's kind of like not quite the last man on earth, but almost. And it's just talking about sort of environmental, climate collapse and environmental degradation, and just the toll it takes on him psychologically, and how he basically loses his mind. So it's while going through this sort of dystopian, post-apocalyptic time frame. But yeah, real happy, joyous stuff. But it's going to be fun to record.
As is tradition.
Yeah, exactly. Just heartwarming shit. But it's I honestly feel like the new songs there's a lot of stuff in there that I think is really a lot heavier than the stuff we've done before. It's got a little bit more edge to it, a little bit more sort of punchy in the face element. But there's also some, softer stuff in it, and some nice acoustic dynamics and stuff. But yeah, I think it's going to turn out with a bit more of an edge and a bit more of a grit to it for sure.
Awesome.
Nice.
Awesome. Well, we definitely can't wait to hear it for sure, man. I'm about out of questions for you guys. Is there anything else you want to let the people know?
Well, I would just add to what Ross has just been speaking about, and that I am stoked as, can I say?
Yeah, you can say it.
Stoked as fuck. I'm stoked as fuck to hear what else comes out of your amazing brain, because Ross, like, honestly, it's just been such a wonderful. I'm just glad to be on this journey with you, and super stoked to, create with you again.
Yeah, man.
And
it's like,
yeah,
totally. I'm so happy that you guys are in my band, because I am the talented guy in the band. I just have some ideas. That's about it. I'm like, hey,
you got the ideas. You got the ideas.
I got some ideas, and you guys execute the ideas exceptionally well.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, I guess, yeah, anyone who's listening who's in the Western Canada region in March, we're going to be playing at that CEMR festival in Edmonton.
Yeah.
I think it's the first weekend of March. I think it's the 4th, 5th, and 6th, I believe. It's going to be a kick-ass festival. Planet Eaters, I think Planet Eater is headlining this Saturday, and that's going to be awesome because they are heavy.
Oh my God.
And they're super
amazing.
Those guys, they're good dudes.
Totally.
Yeah, but yeah, I don't know. Just thanks everyone for listening. It's been a pleasure talking to you, Zach.
Thank you.
Man. Fuck yeah, man.
Yeah, thank you so much.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Before I let you guys go, can I get you to make us a station tag?
Yeah, oh, hell yeah.
All right, whenever you're ready, say something like, "This is Graybeard, and you're listening to Metal Devastation Radio."
Can I yell?
Well, I'll say that this is Graybeard part, Amanda, and then you say and your listening part, okay?
Okay, say it again. This is Graybeard, and
You're listening to Metal Devastation Radio.
Okay, you do all that, Ross, and I'll just come in.
You want me to do the whole tagline?
Could ya?
Okay. Hey there, this is Graybeard, and you're listening to Metal Devastation Radio.
Hell yeah.
Is that going to work? I hope it does.
It's fucking awesome.
If not, just cut me out.
It's fucking awesome. No, well, thanks a lot for taking the time to talk to us. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to blast some more Graybeard for these motherfuckers so they can go crazy, all right?
Sweet.
Awesome.
What are you going to play?
We
Yeah,
got
it's a tune.
Unspeakable coming up next.
Ooh, that's a crowd. When you play that song live, people generally dig it. There's a lot of head.
Nice pick. Nice pick.
Hell yeah. We're going to crank it.
Thank you so much for having us.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Thank you guys, man. You guys have a good night.
Yeah, good night.
Cheers, you too.
Cheers.
Bye.
There you have it, folks. Graybeard live on the Zach Moonshine Show with Metal Devastation motherfucking radio. Like I told you earlier, put your speakers in your fucking windows, put them in your front lawns, put them in your neighbor's driveway. If you're living in the basement, duct tape your speakers to the fucking ceiling and crank this motherfucking shit up loud as a fuck. If you don't see U-Haul trucks everywhere down the street tomorrow, I don't know what the fuck you're doing, but you ain't cranking it up fucking loud enough, motherfuckers. Crank it.